breaks. And I am really glad that you're here today. So a couple of my recurring suggestions before each and every class I teach. I offer this information for you to consider. If you have any injuries, please be mindful of your body. If I ask you to make a move or a position that you know normally brings you pain or extreme discomfort, please either test it out in an experiential way, meaning very gently, or we can bypass that altogether. Yoga should never bring any pain or discomfort, and particularly we don't want to make any re-injuries. So be very thoughtful. I'll use myself as an example. I broke my arm. It was now, I guess, 20 years ago. And when instructors asked me to bring our arms back here, this one doesn't feel the greatest. So I bring it forward just a touch in front of the sensation. This is an old injury, so I don't think I have any jeopardy of re-injuring it, but it's not comfortable. So why do that? A little bit of discomfort is good because that means you're stretching out of your normal. My other suggestion is to take care of yourself. If you'd like to take a break, you don't have to wait for me to invite that. And a break might be laying on your mat for just a few breaths, or a break might be just sitting down. Please make that happen for yourself. I will be encouraging breaks as we go along. And that includes water breaks. If you'd like to stop for water, please do. Again, take care, nourish yourself in whatever you need. We say in yoga that you are your best yoga teacher. Even if you're not a yoga teacher, you know what your body needs and what is nutritious and beneficial, nourishing and beneficial to you. So those are my starts. I'm going to start here I'm sitting on a stool for now, and then I'm going to move back onto my mat, but I just want to do some neck warm-ups. So just sit in a way that's comfortable for you. If you are already on a mat, that's fine. Just sit cross-legged and sit up really tall. If you're seated, just feet flat and 10 toes going the same direction. You can separate your feet to your comfort. And just drop your chin down to your chest and slowly circle your head either direction. So typically these neck circles, for a lot of us, especially in the morning, you can have a noisy neck. Actually, mine is really quiet right now, which is amazing. But the noise, the pops and snaps and crackles, again, should not be painful in any way. And what they typically are, the top two reasons these sounds happen is the bones are realigning. There's a lot of bones in the cervical spine that get knocked out of whack from sitting poorly or sleeping on not the best support of a pillow or back into place sometimes. And the other thing is little nitrogen gas bubbles that get caught in the joints all over the body. This happens. So let's go the opposite direction. So now I'm going counterclockwise. No, I'm not. I'm going clockwise. This direction is I hear noises in my neck, but none of them are coming with pain, just sound. And so these, try to think about some of these things that we do together as things that you can do throughout your day. Let's stop here for just a second. Another talk. The things about being a yoga therapist you want to explain, so people understand why they're doing what they're doing as far as yoga goes. So throughout the day, if I'm in the car, I do neck circles at the red lights, or if I'm in the parking lot, I do neck circles. Next, we're going to do some shoulder shrugs. Breathe in, lift the shoulders up. And I do these throughout the day too. Exhale the shoulders down. Lift up on an inhale. Exhale, shoulders down. We'll do 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. That was number 3. Here's number 2. Exhale, down. And then here is number 1. Exhale down. Let's lift one more time and hold here. So shoulders up near the ears, and take a few breaths here. Smooth and easy breaths. So we're tensing the muscles upward, and we're getting a nice stretch on the very high muscles of the chest as well as on the high part of the back. Just hold here and take some breaths. We're moving breath through our nose. Smooth and easy breath through the nose, long, full, deep inhales, complete exhales. And then slowly lower the shoulders. Let's take a pause here and just see if you notice any changes in your energetic system only done a couple things, just a couple minutes, but you might notice some difference in sensation around the upper part of the body, or in your breathing pattern might be a little more relaxed. Turn your head to the right, and hold. You can use your fingers of the left hand to assist on this head turn, gently placing the fingers on the left jawline and gently pressing the jaw. So this is not a forced movement. This is really gentle and passive. Another type of neck stretch here. And then release your left hand down and look up and down a few times. A little motion, a little different direction of the neck looking up and down, or the head looking up and down. And then release that and come back to center. See what you notice right now on the left side of your neck. So I offer these prompts of noticing and feeling. A lot of people don't notice or feel, and that is okay. But I'm here just to remind you. Hello, Evelyn. How are you? Good morning. Just as a reminder, so that we can notice the changes of the body as we go along with what yoga is for. It's not an exercise program. It is way more than that, but it's also a way for us to just notice the different sensations. A lot of times because of life, we live above our body because it's less painful. So we want to bring these feelings down into the body. And so I will say, notice if you feel anything on the whatever side. If you don't feel anything, it's nothing wrong. There's nothing to fix, nothing to do. It's just the way it is. And maybe you might not feel something on one shape and feel something on the other side of the same shape. So now we turn our head to the left. You may take the right hand and gently touch the right jawline and press gently to the left. Try to drop shoulders, keep them low. Take a couple breaths here. And then release. And then look up and down. Looking up and down. So Evelyn, we're starting just seated for just a couple more stretches, and then we'll get down on the mat. And then come back to center. Fingertips from both hands under the jawline. Lift your chin up gently. So we're not forcing. We're just gently lifting the chin. So a nice stretch on the front of the neck and throat. Smooth out the breath. So we use yoga not just to stretch our muscles and move our joints around. We also use yoga to help us manage stress and anxiety. I think that's one of the biggest bonuses of or benefits of yoga, more so than, how, whatever, forward bend, how far we can go compared to our neighbor, but we use it as a tool to regulate our nervous system. So take some breaths here, and then we're going to go the other way. Interlace your hands, put them behind your head, sit up really tall. Let's do a back bend here. So arch your back, lift your chest, the elbows are out straight, arms are lifted. Just hold here for just a second. See if you notice a releasing of the abdominal muscles, the muscles in the front of the body. And then sit up straight. We're going to bring the elbows together and just curl the head down. And so this is for a stretch on the back of the neck and the shoulders. You might feel that. We want to try to bring the elbows as close to each other as we can, sitting up really tall and moving the breath as we're here. And let's inhale up to a back bend again. These are called seated cat. This next little set is called seated cat cows. And so this would be the cat shape. Imagine if we were on our hands and knees. I said that backwards, the cow shape. If we were on our hands and knees, the sloping of the back of a cow. We'll reverse that, elbows together, curl down. So now the spine moves toward the back of your chair. And would be a cat shape if we were on our mats on our hands and knees. We'll do these on the mat shortly. And then one more set, sit up tall, open the elbows wide, take a big breath here. And then curl down into cat. Elbows tight, chin to chest. And then come to neutral. So this is another one I do in the car, except I don't use the arms because the roof of the car is right there. So we could try these without the arms. So lift your chest, take a breath in, arch your back, and then curl in the other way. That's the exhale. And just feel the difference. Notice how it feels different without the arms. You have a little more freedom of movement without the arms. Inhale, lift, chest up, chin up just a little bit. So we don't want to throw the head back because that's a lot of weight on the neck, hanging on the tip of your spine, the top tip of your spine. So we just want to gently lift the chin to support the head and then curl in. And I'm going to move onto my mat now. Let me reset. So we'll come onto our mats. We'll sit cross-legged for now. So this is called easy pose. So legs are just crossed, whichever leg you prefer in front. It's your choice. You can have the feet toward the torso or away from the torso. Your choice again. Also, our hip joints and knees are different one to the other when you compare human skeletons. So wherever you place your feet should be comfortable for you. No matter what, if you were in a class with our body, the body that we have right now. So come to a comfortable seated pose. This is again called easy pose. Let's just sit here for a second, a couple breaths here. So hands either cupping the knees or you may have them palms up. It's your choice. Lengthening the spine up toward the ceiling, up toward the sky, as well as the neck. Just take some breaths here and do a little assessment. If I meant to say, if this cross-leg pose is not for you, you can always extend the legs out. But whatever you choose, please sit up really straight. I find it easier to sit up straight with my legs crossed because they also act as a way to balance myself. So again, your choice, and you can do both. You can do straight legs and you can cross your legs as we go along, whatever you like. So we want to, in my yoga classes, use what's called agency and autonomy, which means you decide what's best for you. I mentioned earlier that you are your best yoga teacher. So you decide what feels the best. You may feel discomfort again from stretching out of your normal ranges, but it should not be painful and where you really don't want to do it. It should not be that hard. So settle in. Going to reach the right hand out onto the floor or the mat and lean over as far as you can before the left tush leaves earth. Okay, so we don't want to lean up off the left buttock. We want to keep that planted on the mat. That is what aids in our stretch. So the right hand is flat, pressing into the mat, engages the muscles of the arms. Lift the left arm straight up, palm facing me. Turn your hand so that the palm is facing me or facing your screen. Just hold here. Traditionally, we would look up at the left hand, but for a lot of us, that is too much stress on the neck. So you may look out horizontal, or you may look down toward the right hand or right side of your mat or of the floor, and find a spot where your head and neck are most comfortable. We're going to be here for a few breaths. Moving the breath along through the nose with big, full inhales and complete exhales. Notice if you feel a lengthening of the muscles or just stretch on the side, left side body. That is the target area for this shape. So the left side rib cage, we're stretching. And then bring the left arm over near your left ear and deepen that stretch. Reach the left hand far away toward the right and hold. And again, the right hand is flat on the mat, fingers are spread for support. Take some breaths, and again, and you can also turn your head up and down if you want. You don't have to have it in one spot. If you want to move it around, that's also encouraged. And then inhale both arms up, and just notice how the left side feels when we come back to center. And then bring the left hand on the mat, right arm stays straight up, and we're leaning over as far to the left before the right tush leaves the earth. Okay, so we want to keep that opposite hip connected to the mat or the floor, whatever you're using. Right palm faces me. Again, you may look down toward the left side of your mat, horizontally straight out or up in the traditional way for this shape. Find a place that's comfortable for your neck. And then bring the right arm near the right ear, reaching really far with the right fingertips to the left. Deepen the stretch. Notice what you feel on the right side rib cage. I forgot to mention, the shoulders want to cave down and forward. We want to keep them upright. It's a side stretch. So holding here, take a few breaths. And then inhale, both arms up. We're going to go back to the first side. So right palm down, flat white fingers, circling the left arm. So you have a couple of options. You can circle big circles, or you can circle smaller circles with smaller radius. And you can try both. You can do them both. You can pick one. I like the bigger one because it just offers me more of a range of stretches. See which one you like, and you can alternate. Again, breath is full. Inhales, complete exhales. And then let's reverse that. Reverse the circle. Again, small circles or big ones, your choice. Yogi's choice. Inhale, both arms up. Now we go left palm down, fingers spread wide. Lean over to the left. Big circles with the right arm or small circles with the right arm, your choice. And then we will reverse that direction of the right arm. Smoothing your breath. If your jaw is tensed or tight, loosen that up. Let that go. And inhale, both arms up. We're twisting to the right, and then a left hand to right knee, bring the right hand back behind. Sit up really tall. This is called a seated, let's change the cross of the legs too. We've been in that direction for a while. This is called a seated twist or cross-leg seated twist. So we're sitting up really straight. The right hand is back behind us. We're twisting to the right. Traditionally, we'd be looking to the left. You can also experiment with looking straight out or looking over the right shoulder. You may also move the head from side to side. See what you need right now, personally, what you need in this shape for your head and neck. So I want to talk just for a second about twists. They are really good and helpful for digestion. With digestion, they also move the internal organs out of their natural position, which causes a thing called toning. It's like an internal massage. You cannot massage your internal organs, or you can sort of in some massage techniques you can. But this, these twists in yoga, there's a whole series of seated, standing, and supine on your back twists. This is the benefit of yoga twists. Okay, so just a couple more breaths here. We also get a stretch on our oblique muscles, the muscles running on the diagonally on the sides of the body. Couple more breaths. And slowly unwind. Now we're going to side two. Right hand to left knee, twist to the left, sit up really tall. And again, head can be over the right shoulder, horizontally out, over the left shoulder, back and forth, your choice. Take some good breaths here. And then come back to center. Let us sit wide-legged. So we want the legs as wide as possible, but not in the pain zone, okay? So for me right here, I feel a sensation, like this is the front edge of my sensation, or my feedback is also the other word for this. If I open them wider, I would be uncomfortable. So I don't want to be uncomfortable because I'm doing yoga. So I scoot them in just a little bit. We're sitting up tall, and notice my toes are pointing up. This is another toning kind of thing. When we flex our feet and ankles, all the muscles of the legs turn on. They're engaged. Same with when I said hold the elbows up. So versus letting them hang down, when they're up, they're engaged. The arms are engaged. So same thing. So what happens is we're passively toning whatever body part that is. So in this case, the legs. Okay, so toes are up. Just hold here. Notice any feeling on the inside of the thigh. This is a muscle group that doesn't get a lot of tension typically. We don't sit around like this typically. I would say like dancers and gymnasts, they get the stretch all the time because it's part of their work or their hobby or sport. But the rest of us do not get a lot of stretch here. So this is the inside hamstring. So we're just sitting here, toes are up, engage your, pull your belly button in, sit up really tall, drop your shoulders, and just hold here. If you want to bring your chin down to your chest, feel free to do that. That puts a little stretch on the back of the neck. Sitting tall, belly button in. So pulling in the belly button engages the abdominal muscles, which is another way to tone them passively by just lifting in. And I walk around, not all the time, I don't really sound like that, but I walk around with my belly button pulled in a lot because it's toning those muscles. And I'm doing some shopping, I'm in the car, so this is one way, again, that I practice yoga all day long. I don't have to get on a yoga mat to practice yoga. We can do it anywhere we show up, and I mean that literally. Okay, now we're gonna walk our hands forward on an exhale. I want you to come down to where it's comfortable. So for me right today, or this moment, this is good. Some days I can get down on my forearms after I stretch a little bit, but I'm not there yet. So I'm gonna hold right here. This is good enough for me. I'd like for you to look down towards your mat so the back of your neck is smooth. Hold here and just take some breath. We're allowing the inside, the hamstrings on the inner thighs to continue to lengthen and stretch. Now we brought in with this forward motion, a stretch for the low back. So many, probably people all around the world, but I'll speak about Americans, have some form of back pain, back injury, back, just stress on their back. And so these forward bends are good to help with releasing those tight muscles. That part of the spine is called the lumbar spine. And it carries a lot of the brunt of our same thing, poor posture, poor seating, soft beds that just are not serving our particular skeleton well. And so the forward bends in yoga help to reduce some of the tension on the low part of the spine. So hold here again, looking down toward the mat. Toes are still pointing up. The legs are still getting a little exercise. By them being open wide, we're getting a stretch on those inner hamstring muscles. Hold here, and maybe you can walk out a little more. I know that I can now because we've been sitting in this forward shape for a few, not even a minute, but long enough for the muscles to kind of let go a little. See what you can do. And again, there's no pressure to do anything. You can stay just as you are. Couple more breaths here. So this pose is called wide leg seated pose. Just exactly named for what it is. We're sitting with wide legs. Then inhale, come up and notice the rebound. of the low back and the inner hamstring. See how you feel. So bring in the right foot to touch the inside of the left thigh. So the foot is not under the thigh. The foot is touching the inside of the left thigh. Left toes are still flexed upward. I'm going to twist again. So left hand to right knee. So this twist feels totally different for me than the other one. When I turn my body away from the left leg, I feel a much deeper stretch on those inner hamstring muscles. So see what you feel. Again, you might not feel the same thing I feel, or nor do you have to. Just notice what you feel. We'll move the head side to side again here. And then come back to center. Let's change the leg. So right leg out on that angle again. Right toes flexed up. Left foot touches the inside of the right thigh. Sit up tall. Then we'll turn right hand to left knee. So I notice on this side, this right leg in inner hamstring is not as sensitive as the other leg when I turn to my right. So there's an awareness thing. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing to fix. It's just the way it is for now. Twist and breathe. Sit up tall. Drop your shoulders. Check your jaw again. Our jaw clenches up without us even knowing it in good times or bad times. In stressful times or pleasant times, it just clamps down. So work on releasing that. Over time, it can give you dental problems. I'm not projecting that on anyone, but that clenched jaw does start to wear on the back teeth over time. It takes years, but it can happen. So sitting here, you can move your head or not, your choice. And then come back to center. This time we're going to bring the feet together. This is called prayer hands. We're pretending this is called prayer feet. So soles of the feet touch. Some teachers say let the feet open like a book. It's your choice. I don't know the difference particularly, but I've heard that expressed. So this is called butterfly pose or cobbler pose. And cobbler as in shoemaker, not peach cobbler, but cobbler pose. So imagine some person in the old times making shoes or repairing shoes. This was the way they probably were seen fitting, and that is how this shape got one of its names. The other name is butterfly, which I prefer. Prettier, but butterfly shape is also an inner hamstring stretch, but also a hip opener. So there's a whole series of yoga stretches called hip openers as well. This is one of them, butterfly pose. Exhale, move your hands forward and try to keep a straight back or flat back and just come forward to whatever's comfortable for you. So I feel this a lot in my hip joints moving forward. Looking down toward the feet. I want to talk about eyes opened or closed. So a lot of us live in a mode of wanting to know what's going on around us. And I am with that plan right there. So you can keep your eyes open, or you can close them, or you can lower them halfway so they're half open. And find the comfort for you. One of the benefits of closing them is that it shuts out external stimuli. So that's the best thing about it. The second best thing is, and that's great if you're out in the world and you just need to shut it out. But the other thing, if you're resting, the closed lids send the signal to the relaxation system, or the nervous system to relax. So that is the benefit of having closed eyes. But we want also to operate in our comfort zone. And sometimes we just need to keep our eyes open, or we also might want to look around while they're open. So you use your own autonomy of what's working best for you. So looking down at the feet, if you want to try to inch out a little more, give that a whirl, see how that feels. And then come back up to upright. We're going to close the knees like a book, extend the feet out, and windshield wiper, feet and hands. See what you notice. So we're moving now to hands and knees. So I want to offer you a couple of suggestions. So if you have a towel, you can always put a towel down to pad your knees, but also put a little crimp in your yoga mat. I don't see this from the side, but so I folded my mat, so now it's 3 layers of mat, and I would put my knees on that. That's one way. This is, suggestions for people that may have sensitive knees. Some days mine are, some days mine aren't. It just depends on the day. And here's another way. You can turn this sideways, the long way. Turn this in the long way and put one knee on each side as well. So there's some options. This is 2 layers of yoga mat. And so if you need to have padding or want to have padding, those are some suggestions. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what it looks like. My hips and knees are in a vertical line. My feet are separated comfortably, and I'm on the tops of my feet. My shoulder, elbow, and wrists are in vertical lines as well. My hands are flat, and fingers spread wide. So we'll hold here. This is called table or tabletop, or I've heard it called box pose in certain circles, box pose. My friend in Texas, her students all use that term box pose, so that's where I got that. Anyway, so this is table. So we're going to go cat-cow. We did this in a sitting a few minutes ago. Belly drops and head lifts, and that's your inhale. We're going to hold here in this shape. I'm going to allow the low back to stretch. So pretend that your back is like a horse you may have seen on TV that has that sway back thing happening from too many saddles on it. Just allow the belly to drop toward the floor. The chin is lifted gently, and take some breaths here. See if you feel or notice any stretching in the front of your body, the abdominal area. So holding here, taking breaths. And then let's reverse that. Slowly bring the spine up toward the ceiling, exhaling and chin to chest, like this. Pressing into the hands so that you really get a lift on the upper part of the back. So it's an active stretch. Hold here, take some breaths. Smooth out the breath, check your jaw. Check to see if the facial muscles are relaxed. We want a sweetened face. We're not frowning or grimacing, just a sweet or neutral face. Let's reverse that to cow. So belly drops down, chin lifts, inhale. We'll do one more set of this slow-mo. Hold here. Let the back arch, release that. And then reverse to cat. Spine lifts, chin to chest, exhale, hold. So even while we're holding, we're keeping the breath. And then we'll go in real time. So we're going to link the breath and the motion. So inhale, head up, belly drops. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more round. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And come back to table. I'm going to push up into down dog. So again, the setup is table or tabletop pose. Curl the toes under. So this is a nice stretch here. Let's hold here and just press into your feet, into your toes, and get a nice stretch on the bottom of the feet. They don't get a lot of attention. Our shoes are not shaped like this. This is a great way to stretch out the feet. And then we're going to inhale, lift, tush up toward the ceiling. So separate your feet so you're comfortable. And I'll turn this way. Well, you can't see my feet. But separate your feet so that they're comfortable for you, whatever that is. Just hold here for a couple breaths. Smooth breath. This shape is supposedly a resting pose in yoga, they say, but also it's an inversion. I'm going to talk about inversions in just a second. So hold there and walk your hands back towards your feet and bend your knees and hang there. So this is called a standing forward bend, this one, standing forward bend. Just hold here. If you want to sway your arms, you can sway, or hang on opposite elbows with opposite hands and sway, your choice. And then put your hands on top of your thighs and inhale, come up with a flat back. Standing up, this is called mountain pose. So mountain pose looks just like this. So the inversions in yoga are the heart and head on the same level like this, or the head lower than the heart like we were in down dog, and also in forward bend. Okay, and so what happens with that is the heart gets a break from pumping so hard that we get a lot of nice oxygenated blood into the brain by just hanging upside down. And you can do that also with the support of a wall, just touching tush to wall and forward bending and just hang out there. This is so refreshing if you're feeling droopy in your workday or something, like getting lethargic or losing that sinker is what we call it too, having a sinker. You can go upside down like that and get a little bit to be get revived a little bit as far as energy, especially the brain getting that oxygen. Just hold there and take a couple breaths. And when you're ready, come to standing. Sometimes when I do those upside down shapes, those immersion shapes, I feel a little, it's woozy, but not in a scary way or a way that is harmful. It's that oxygen that kind of just flushes out everything, and it's kind of whoa. So we stand here, separate your feet. We're going to do, I'm trying to find where I should be in the screen. Wide feet. Okay. Turn your right toes out to the right. Arms horizontal. This is triangle pose. Reaching with the right fingers and then bringing the right hand down to the right shin, or you may be able to reach your right ankle, doesn't matter. And the left arm is straight up and strong. This is called triangle. So both legs are straight. These are nice stretches for the backs of both legs, and on this side, the left side rib cage. Left hand reaching up to engage that. Hold here. Inhale, arms horizontal. Right toes come in, left toes go out. And then reaching with the left hand, tipping to the left leg. So not on the knee. You don't want to put any unnecessary weight on the knees ever. So bring your hand down right to your shin or closer to your foot. It's your choice. And right arm again is reaching up in an active way. We're reaching up toward the sky. Smooth breath. Inhale, arms horizontal. We're going back to side one with a couple of adjustments. First, turn the left heel out just a bit. Right toes turn to the right. So now we're setting up for warrior two. Arms are horizontal, bend the right knee. So the right knee stays over the right ankle. Hold, arms are strong. This is called warrior two. Strong arms, pull in the belly button. You can look traditional, we'd look over the left arm on this side. That might be too much for your neck, my neck. So we look either out, look at your monitor, or look towards your right hand, your choice. Drop the left hand to the left thigh. Bring the right arm straight up. This is called Exalted Warrior or Humble Warrior. Exalted Warrior or Humble Warrior. Lean back onto the left leg and hold here. You can look up toward the right hand. Hold and breathe. See if you notice a stretch on the front side of the right rib cage. You might notice a stretch. And then come back to Warrior 2. We're going to place right forearm on top of right thigh. Bring the left arm up and across toward the left hip. Keep the left shoulder pulled back. This is called side angle or extended side angle pose, depending. Side angle or extended side angle. And then come back to Warrior 2. Straighten the right leg, turn the right toes in, turn the left toes out, then turn the right heel out just a bit for Warrior 2. Reaching to the left. That's not right, excuse me. Bend the left knee, sorry. Bend the left knee here and just hold. Left knee is bent, left knee is over the left ankle. Hold here. Smooth breath. Fingers reaching away from left side and right side. Now we do reverse warrior, exalted warrior, humble warrior. Right hand comes to the right thigh. Left arm goes up, lean back on in the direction of the right leg. Hold here and breathe. See if you notice a stretch now on the front, the left half of the front half of the left rib cage. Hold here and breathe. And then we go into extended side angle. Left forearm on left thigh. Right arm comes all the way up and over toward the right. And hold and breathe. Big breaths here. Take advantage of the breath. And inhale back to Warrior 2. And then left toes in. Bring your feet together. We'll stand in mountain pose. Just take a few breaths here. Feet are flat. You feel the contact of your feet to your mat or the floor. We're going to come down onto our back. Time sure flies. So come down onto your back. When you lay down, exhale, bring your knees to chest and just hold here. So one hand on each knee. And you can pull the knees towards your chest or just let this be a passive stretch. So this is a stretch for the back of the thighs, the buttocks, and the low spine. Just hold here. This is called knees to chest pose or knees to heart pose. Just be here for a couple breaths. And to add to this, if you'd like to massage your back, just rock side to side. And depending on how far to the side you go, you get more hip massage if you go all the way to either side. And notice the feeling of the floor touching your back as you go from side to side. So that is the extended version. You can also do shorter rocking if you want to try that. So that obviously is more of a concentrated part of your back. But see how that feels. Notice if you rotate the knees both going the same way, how that feels. And so this is definitely something that I would say would be useful before bedtime, this kind of massaging. Let's reverse if you're circling your knees. Let's reverse the direction here. And then bring your left foot down. Cross your right thigh over the left thigh. And exhale and drop both knees to the left. This is a supine. Supine is the fancy word or anatomical word for on your back or the back. So supine spinal twist. And here's one of those twists I mentioned. This one I mentioned before that there were seated, standing, and supine twists. Here's one of them, the supine one. If you want to take the left hand and touch the outside of the right knee, you may, or you can have your arms out in a T shape if you want, your choice. Take some breaths. Notice what you feel, how things feel. Notice I feel a little twitching in my right hip muscle, but more the buttock muscle. See if you notice anything there. I'm just saying what I feel, and you don't have to be, feeling like I don't feel that. That's fine. Just see what you feel. And then inhale, come up, bring the right foot down, and then the left leg crosses over the left thigh, left thigh over right thigh. And slowly drop both knees to the right on an exhale and see how things compare. So I feel more sensation in this shape on my left hip. Again, nothing to fix, just awareness. You can put the right hand outside the left knee or leave the arms in a T shape, your choice for your comfort. Supine spinal twist. Breathing through the nose. Then when you're ready, roll onto your back. Going into final rest, I want to offer a couple of options. So for some of us, laying flat on our back is not comfortable for a couple reasons. Sometimes it's the low back thing. So if your low back is tight, you can place your feet wide on your mat. Let the knees drop together to support each other. So this is one version of corpse pose here. This is traditional corpse pose. You can also do a side corpse pose, side shavasana. Bottom arm is your pillow. Bend your knees and turn onto your favorite side. The fourth option is doing final rest sitting. You don't have to lay down. So you pick what you like. Just notice what you feel underneath you. So I'll name the things if I were laying out on my back. My heels, calves, thighs, and buttocks, and probably mid-back and upper back. I would feel my arms on the mat. So notice what you feel. If you're laying on your side, I would feel the side of the bottom leg. And I would feel the side of my rib cage, and I would feel my arm under my head touching the floor, my bent arm under my head touching the floor. I would feel air on my feet. I would feel my dog. No, I have cats, but I love that. So noticing the contact of your body to the earth, to your yoga mat, feeling safe and supported, or safe enough and supported here. Noticing feet, legs, noticing hands, arms, noticing spine, head, face, noticing heart, throat, neck, noticing facial muscles. Let go, unbrace, just relax. Next breath in, bring your arms up over your head and take a big stretch. If you're on your side, lay on your back for just a second. Reach and stretch. Stretch and yawn, or a loud exhale, or a yawn. Stretch. And then curl into a little tiny ball, knees to chest, and turn onto your favorite side and hold there. Just hold there. Turn onto your favorite side and hold. Knees are bent. And then when you're ready, push yourself upright to seated. And we'll close out class. May you be happy. May your life have meaning. And may you be an instrument for social change. It's been my pleasure. So excited that I'm here, and I'm looking forward to the day I come into the space in person. Thank you. Thank you, Imani, Lakeisha, and Evelyn. Thank you so much.